What's up, YouTube? Welcome if you're new here. Welcome back if you're not. Blah, blah, blah. Today I want to talk about the 3-12-30. Now, I have to put a disclaimer because this is my opinion. This is my observation. This is stuff that influencers are missing the mother freaking mark on. And as an average person who's just getting into fitness, or maybe you're well into fitness and you have some mental health issues, you might be beating yourself up about the 3-12-30. So let's break it the frick down. Let's talk about this. I feel so strongly about this, and I just want to start off by saying I have been feeling strongly about this since day one. Like, as soon as my For You pages started advertising influencers that do the 3-12-30, and they're claiming that they do the 3-12-30 for the full duration, I just want to say good for you. Good for you. But the topic came back up in one of my health classes, my health science kinesiology classes, and not necessarily the 3-12-30 itself, but certain topics that are relative to it. So I just want to talk about that today. Number one, if you get anything out of this video of me talking, I want you to know this. It is okay if you cannot perform the 3-12-30. It is 100% normal and natural to not be able to perform the 3-12-30. And if you're not familiar with the 3-12-30 and you're like, Nicole, what? I just landed on your page and clicked this video. What are we even talking about? I'm bored. The 3-12-30 is a walk, or for some, a freaking jog at a level 3 speed at a 12 incline on a treadmill for 30 minutes. Now, I have seen people do it, okay? I've seen people do it in person, but actually I've never seen them at a 12 incline for the full 30 minutes. And some of these influencers or fitness people out there are saying that they're doing the 3-12-30 every cardio day, and I'm like, good for you. But they're setting this unrealistic expectation for the average person or for somebody just starting off in fitness. And there are some things that play into the 3-12-30 that you need to understand before you go beating yourself up about it. And actually, it's just about cardio in general. So number one, if you're brand new to fitness and you're like, I want to do the 3-12-30, it looks easy, all the influencers are telling me this is an easy way to get into cardio, relax, because you don't have a baseline, right? If you're just getting into fitness, I think you should try something a little less intensive, because it is intensive. Going at that incline at a 3 speed, which is an average walking speed, but for me, personally, I feel like a 3 is kind of on the brink of booking it, and I'll explain why. It's just not realistic. So if you're standing there and you're like, yeah, I'm getting into fitness and I'm going to do the 3-12-30, you get to the gym and now you have it on a 3, you have it on a 12, and you are wheezing by minute 1, don't beat yourself up. Okay, that's my main message. Do not beat yourself up, because let's get into these factors. Number one, how tall are these influencers? Mind you, I have not done any research, okay? This is just, again, my observation, my learnings from school. If you don't know, I am a kinesiology major at UCF, so I just want to put that out there because I get pretty hyped about this. But how long are your legs? Now, my professor didn't mention this in training, but it is something to take consideration of. If I am a 6-foot woman and my legs are the majority of the length of my body, I am going to be able to take longer strides in shorter amount of time. But if I am a 5'5" woman, which I am, and I have a longer torso comparatively to my legs, my strides are going to be a lot shorter. It's going to take me a lot more movement to go the same distance as a 6-foot woman. And 6-foot man, 6-foot human being, okay, they, them, whatever, the other person that's taller than me, sorry, it's going to take me a lot more effort than that person that's taller than me. So here we are. I'm putting out more force just for the sheer fact that I am shorter. My limbs are shorter, my legs are shorter. So consequently, because I'm at this disadvantage, and let's say I'm just starting off in fitness, okay, my heart rate is going to be higher. It is going to be higher than that person that's 6 foot. And we can even say that, you know, the 6 foot person compared to the 5'5" person, they're both brand new to fitness. That 6 foot person has a advantage of having longer legs if their legs are longer than their torso, etc., etc. So you have to take into consideration of your, what is that called? Your physical state, like where you are physically, how your body is. So in the sense of, I see all these influencers on my page and I am this, let's say I'm 5 feet, 5'5", whatever. And I don't know that these women are on the brink of being 6 foot. Automatically, I am judging myself because I can't keep up with that pace just off the sheer fact of my legs being shorter. But I don't know that because I'm not aware of that, you know? So number one, don't beat yourself up if you can't do it. If you feel like you're being winded off of the first minute, there are some factors that play into it that have nothing to do with it being your fault at your physical level, like your physical exercise level. But the other thing is your heart rate, okay? Doing a 3-12-30, they say increases fat loss. I've seen it out there for a while. So it's, for me, it looks, and again, this is all based off of social media algorithms, but for me, it's one of the most popular cardiovascular trainings that are out there right now. Like, we went through this whole, everyone doing HIIT and then everyone doing Pilates. And I've been seeing Pilates and the 3-12-30 coexist at like top level of, Pilates isn't really cardio, but it's a mix of cardio. Anyways, you get what I'm saying, okay? So if I am out here absorbing this information and I see that, you know, it is the most recommended cardiovascular thing to do right now for training, because it increases fat loss, like you have an increased chance of fat loss, you have to take in consideration your heart rate, okay? I am someone that is physically active. I go to the gym 3 times a week, maybe 4, but cardiovascularly speaking, I am not that fit. I weight train, but I am not that fit. So my heart rate is something that I'm monitoring. Everybody has this target heart rate zone, and when you're in that target heart rate zone, you're more inclined to burn fat. So if I am doing this 3-12-30, just based off of everyone telling me on the internet that that is the best thing to do, but I'm at that 312 and my heart rate is at a 180, baby, we are past it. We are not burning that fat. We are just, our heart is just fighting for our freaking lives at this point. My nose is dripping. 1 second. So sorry. We love raw content, by the way, so I'm gonna keep this in there. But that being said, monitoring your heart rate is a huge thing to consider when you are doing the 3-12-30 or any cardiovascular exercise. If your heart rate is over that target heart rate zone, there are benefits to that, but if you're doing it strictly for the reason of fat loss, it's going to be counterproductive. You're going to be really tired. You're going to be winded. You're going to hate yourself. Hopefully not, but you know what I'm saying. Don't beat yourself up about it, but monitor your heart rate. I usually like to keep my heart rate between 150 and 169. If I start to get into the 170s, I'm like, okay, Nicole, time to dial it back. So that being said, I never do the 3-12-30 because by the time I'm at a level, we'll say by the time I'm at 3 miles per hour, is that what that is? The 3 walking speed, and I'm at an incline of like 2 to 5, depending on if I have done my strength training prior, I'm winded. I am already in that 165 heart rate zone for myself. So like, just being mindful of your heart rate is important. And understanding that these influencers, if they are actually doing the 3-12-30 for the full duration, they probably have trained for it. They probably worked their way up to that. Or they're an athlete. Let's say they're day-to-day, they're very athletic, they're doing other things. But to start off and to say like, oh, this is the easiest thing, just get in the gym, do the 3-12-30. Bro, be realistic. Be realistic. Because as somebody that weight trains every week, that is something that I am not at a accurate level to go do. And now I'm just losing words. But the point is, don't beat yourself up. It's not that realistic. As much as they want you to think that it's easy, it's not that easy, and that's okay. That is 100% okay. But knowing your heart rate, tracking your heart rate, making sure you're in your target heart rate zone, there are a bunch of free resources online where you can figure out what your target heart rate is. That is what I would recommend doing first. Making sure that you're in that fat burning zone while doing cardio. It doesn't have to be some strenuous, me and my words, it doesn't have to be some strenuous exercise in order for you to see the results. And maybe there's going to be a lot of people that disagree with me on that, but it doesn't have to be that hard. You can still work up a sweat and burn the fat without putting your heart in this fragile state of survival mode. That's just it. So next, I'm gonna say, like, if you're looking at this video, you're still watching, and you're like, well, Nicole, I can't afford a Fitbit, I can't afford an Apple Watch, I can't track my heart rate, so I'm just gonna try to beat myself up some more because I can't track that. False. Don't come at me with that, because every cardio machine, every treadmill that is in a gym these days has the monitor. You put your hands on the machine and it tracks your heart rate. So do not tell me it's about affordability, because if you can afford that gym membership, you have already afforded that heart rate monitor. It's on the machines for a reason, because you need to know what your heart rate is at. Point blank, period. I think that's everything. Just understanding that your body is not built the same way these influencers are, and that also you're not getting B-roll. Like, you are literally getting the best shots of them on social media. You don't see them doing this for the full duration, and if you do, kudos to them, because again, they probably trained and worked up to that 3-12-30. I promise you. But you can find the same results in doing a less elevated incline or a slower walking speed. So for me, I range between a 2.5 to 3.0 walking speed, and an incline, like I said, between a level 2 to 5, 3 to 5. I never have to go all the way to a 12 on an incline to see that heart rate get up into the target heart rate zone. So do your research. Don't beat yourself up about it. I've spent so much time beating myself up about it and then really thinking, well, is it me? God, am I the problem? No, I just had to take in consideration that there are so many factors that play into fitness and where you physically are at. Am I telling you not to challenge yourself? Absolutely not. If you want to go over that target heart rate zone because you are trying to push your cardiovascular levels and you're not really focused on the fat burning aspect, be my guest, but never go over your max. I've gotten to that point before. I've gotten to my maximum heart rate and I've seen spots. I've gotten dizzy spells, a hard chest pain for breathing. So do what you will as you wish, okay? Whatever your heart desires. But out of my opinion and there's a fly in here again. Out of my opinion and my experience, I'm just saying the 3-12-30 is not something that you need to hold yourself accountable to on that level. You can still get a decent exercise out of a less of an incline, less of a walking speed, as long as you're monitoring that heart rate. Okay. I think I have said everything that I wanted to say. I hope you took away from this. The main goal of this video is to just kind of spread that awareness and also tell you to stop being so harsh on yourself. Stop comparing yourself to these influencers. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that you don't see. Yeah. Other than that, I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope you hear from me soon. Again, be sure to leave some topics down below of like what you want me to talk about. I love sharing my opinion. I love sharing my experiences. However, I do want to say, someone left a comment on my last video. I don't want to talk about racial injustice. I don't want to talk about political pieces. Let's be real. I just don't. I have my viewpoints, you have your viewpoints on that. Let's not talk about that. Okay? I deleted that comment because I'm not here for that. All right. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.